So what did I end up making on that trade? This is a small trade I was in today. It's on Tesla. It is October the 12th, 2022. Looking at the morning, I've got the 1 minute chart here, I've got my 3 minute here, and I've got my 5 minute here in this little window down here. So what I'm looking at here was the bell. It was a gap down, and then I saw a little gap up, but it still, these were just profit takers that I was looking at, and I was waiting for it to head down, because if you look down here on the daily, you can see that we're on a downtrend with Tesla, but getting close to exhaustion, and I think that's what happened. We had a little bit of a bounce, not much, but a little bit of a bounce. But I wasn't looking at that. I was looking at how it started this morning, and once it broke under, I was looking for it to break below the previous day's low, and then that's when I was going to jump in. So I was looking at about 215.12, somewhere around that range. But I had the opportunity right here, actually at 215.20, and I saw this formation here. You see this 2 to the upside, followed by a 2 to the upside, but actually this wick was forming, and this is actionable signal, which tells you it's gonna possibly great opportunity to go do a put if you're doing options, or go short and see what happens. So I waited for the next candle. This is a 1 minute chart, and it broke below the previous 1 minute candle, and I got in. So I got in it. My target was 215.20 something or whatever. I got in at 215.18. So I'm in there at 846, and I just ride the thing. But it's such a choppy day. I mean, just the whole market was just choppy, and I knew I maybe shouldn't have traded today, but I was looking at this. I said, well, it's gonna go, and then worst case, I break even, I get out, and that's it. So I wrote it. It went a little south on me, started going up a little bit, but I was just watching it, and still wasn't enough to prove to me that it was doing any kind of reversal to the upside. So I'm looking down here at my 15 minute, and what you could see here was, in that time frame of my trade, was these bars right here. There wasn't anything telling me that it was reversing yet. So I hung out, and I hung on, and I just kept riding this thing, and I knew it was going to come down, and of course I knew it was going to try to get to a low of the day. And once it usually goes, and then once it hits there, every time it seems like there'll be profit takers, and it pushes it back up. So that's what I was counting on. So I just kept riding this thing out, and bounced up again. And then on this last little run here from 719 to 722, I was watching this run, and I was thinking, okay, I'm ahead, I'm doing all right. And then I was waiting for this. This is another actionable signal. 2 to the downside, but it barely went below the previous candle's low. But I instituted the 50% rule, meaning if this candle reaches beyond 50% of the previous day's candle, which was right around this area right here, and it did, then it's got a good chance, good probability that this thing's going to take off to the other side, causing a reversal. This is an actionable signal that you should really look for. Again, once you're coming down to the lows of the day, and you're going to see some profit taking, so there's going to be a bump, but just watch the price action. Again, once I saw this and it was going the other way, that's when I got out. 723, when this thing popped its head down just a wee bit and started going up, I got out, because I knew that once I hit the 50% of the previous bar, it's going to run. And sure enough, it took off, and I was out. So what did I end up making on that trade? Was almost 20%, probably about 18%, which is an excellent trade on a day like today. I mean, it's just choppy. You can look at this here. down here on the daily, you can see what had happened. We had that dump, and that's where I got in, and then get out, went up, and it kind of teetered back towards the end of the day, but it's still to the downside. It is still going down. This is what you have to be looking at the daily. See what's really happening here. We're still in this downtrend. Even though we had a green day, we still are a 2 to the downside, meaning it broke below the previous day's low, and it did not beat the previous day's high. So it's still a 2 to the downside, showing me that it's still on the downtrend. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Good luck trading out there. We'll catch you next time.